If you've been through the Database Fundamentals series, this will test your knowledge and understanding of what has been presented. There are a set of questions that will test what you understand about the relational database, the models, and the construction. The answers are not provided. If you're not certain about your answers, you should review the presentations. So what's the data model term for this definition? A person, place, thing, or event about which we need to keep information. What is a field called if it's used to link to a primary key field in another table? A field that uniquely identifies each row in a table is called a If a relationship in the data model has a maximum cardinality of 1 on one end and crow's feet on the other end, what type of relationship is this? It's a blank, blank, blank. Which of the following could be a primary key for the employee table? First name plus last name as concatenated, phone number, job title, social security number, birth date. E.F. Codd proposed the principles for what kind of database? An attribute that might have more than one value for each entity blank is called a blank attribute. Now you'll see some data models and you'll be asked how many tables you would build from the model and which tables would get a foreign key. You don't actually have to know the business setting in order to read these models. Just interpret what the data model notation tells you. In the data model shown, how many tables would you build in the database? Which of these would get a foreign key? Would customer? Would order? Would inventory? Would none of the entities get a foreign key? Would all of them? In the data model shown, how many tables would you build in the database? Which of these would get a foreign key? Employee, assignment, project, none would, all would. In the data model shown, how many tables would you build in the database? In the data model shown, which of these entities would get a foreign key? Vendor, part, bill of materials, none would get a foreign key, all would get a foreign key. So how did you do? If you couldn't answer all the questions, you can always review the presentations in the Database Fundamentals series. It's going to be very helpful that you understand these concepts and terms when you begin working with databases.